Hello, this is Layde Dei, and today is Wednesday, September 18th, about 6:40 p.m. I decided to make another video. Today, the video is on words. It's pretty relevant today because earlier I was on a conference call with my daughters, and they were sharing with me how my grandsons got into it, and let's just say I wouldn't approve of the way that they were speaking to each other. So they word choice, which reminded us of when they were little girls. But before I get to that, I wanted to share something with you. It's kind of my disclaimer. Again, anything I say is my opinion. It's my why. It's my interpretation. It may resonate with some of you guys. Some of you it will not so much. And if not, I'm sure there's somebody else on Facebook with all of these millions of people that you will resonate with. Where in 1999, going into the year 2000, I was sitting in my computer. As I said before, I used to make a journal, and I was writing this paper. And I was kind of expressing how I felt like when I go to church, some of the people seem to be sad, and unfulfilled, and it was difficult. It seemed like it was difficult for them to live, the Christian lifestyle. They were struggling. And I thought it wasn't that they were not receiving the word, but more so that the word was not effectively communicated to them. And I was writing this paper on that. I think sometimes pastors talk over the congregation's head versus talking to the congregation's heart. Because in some cases, this is my opinion, it's more about them sounding intelligent and, deep and whatever. And the congregation miss it. They miss the message. They miss what they're supposed to be getting. And so, again, I was writing this paper. This was in the year 1999 going into the year 2000. So fast forward, in the year 2002, I wanted to teach a class. And I gave my paper to one of the pastors. And he read it. And when he read the paper, he was talking to me and he was a little offended. He said, "Did you write that? Were you talking about me when you wrote that?" I told him, I said, "You know what? I wrote that 2 years ago. However, if it resonated with you, if it made you feel some kind of way, then it was for you." And so I said that to say this. A young lady had told my daughter something, and I was talking to my daughter one day, and she said, "Mama, I heard dog hollers." And I thought that was just the best little saying, because when she said it, I visualized if I threw a rock in a crowd of people, the only person that's going to say anything is the one that it hit. So I'm saying this to you. If what I say offends you, nobody going to know it offended you unless you say something, which means it was you. So if you're watching the video and you feel some kind of way, the word may be for you. It's not meant to offend you, but it's meant to help you. So just think about that. Now, I'm going to go to what I was going to do. Today, I'm actually going to share some scripture, and I'm going to read it just simply because I don't want anything to be taken out of context. In 2 Timothy 2:15, 2 Timothy 2:15, it says, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that rightly divided the word." It says, "Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth." Now, this is the King James Version. Again, that says, "Study to show thyself approved unto God." I like to put an emphasis on that, not unto man. So don't study the scripture so you can just quote it, or to be knowledgeable, to show off that you know it. You need to know the scripture for yourself. to know that someone like me isn't lying to you. I do challenge you to look up the scriptures that I share with you for yourself so you can know that they are accurate, and also so you won't be deceived. Don't just take people's word for it. Look that stuff up. Another one, actually it's three more I want to share with you, but I'm sharing these because when my daughters were little, the way that I would discipline them, when they would get into it, I would have one read scriptures on anger, and I would have the other one read scriptures on attitude. And I'm sure three of them with you that I used to share with them. I would have them read to each other. The first one is James 1:19, and it says, "So then, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, because the wrath of man does not produce the righteousness of God." So the other one that they will read and say, this is Proverbs 18:13. This is the King James Version again. "He that answers a matter before he hears it shows himself to be a fool and worthy of confusion." Now, a lot of people do this one. A foolish person, I answer you before they have all the information. This person is ready to respond because they're ready to attack. They don't even know what you're going to say. They talk over you and you can't get a word in. These are the people that if I was to say, "Oh, you have ketchup on your shirt," before looking down, they just like, "You have mustard on yours." And I was going to say, "You have ketchup on your shirt. I have something to help you clean that." So they attack me because they always in attack mode because they're on the defensive. I don't know why, but this is what this scripture is referring to these people. They said, "He that answers a matter before he hears it shows himself to be a fool and is worthy of confusion." Now, the last scripture, I use this one often. This is the one that should stick with most people. This is the one my daughters use all the time. This one is Proverbs 29:11. "A fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man holds them back." See, a fool will tell all their business, and they'll tell all of yours too. So, for me, this one is so on point, especially to me. Some people will tell all their business and they asking you, they saying, "What, you don't tell me your business? You don't tell me." Of course, you tell all yours. You're not going to keep mine. So, I'm not sharing. But this also, to me, applies to the people that get on Facebook, tell all their business, and then they later on is just like, "Oh man, maybe I shouldn't have did that." Now I do want to say this. There's a difference between making a foolish decision and being a fool. We all get upset. And a foolish decision is something we did in the heat of the moment. You was upset about something. You may want to put somebody on blast. Unfortunately, everybody see it on Facebook. That probably wouldn't be the best route to go, but you can do that, later regret it, take it down, feel bad, apologize. That's a foolish decision. A fool, an imbecile, a simpleton, a buffoon is the one that does it and is okay with it and continues to do that. So again, we can make foolish choices, and that's okay because we make mistakes. But don't actually be a fool. Now I want to go to words. I said all of that. This is going to be a little bit long. I apologize for it, but I did want to put the scriptures in. Now, my favorite movie of all time is The Matrix. I like all three of them. The first one is about faith. The second one is about the why, me knowing who I am and why I make the choices that I do. And the third one is about making that choice. The why is trying to understand it. The third one is okay, I'm making this choice to do this. So it's so deep, it's so spiritual. I would encourage anybody to go and watch them. I understand they're making a 4, let's say. But in the second Matrix, Neo gets stuck in this train station. And there is a guy that's there with his family. The guy's name is Rama Kandra. And this guy is a computer program. And his family is there with him. And he's trying to get his little girl, because there are programs, if the program does not have a purpose, it's deleted. Message. So we all need to have a purpose. So the program is going to be deleted. Him and his wife are going to be deleted, but he doesn't want his daughter to be deleted. So he's trying to save her life. And Neo, and he said he loved his daughter. And Neo was kind of confused about that. And he was just like, so you confused that I, say that I love her? I'm kind of paraphrasing. And Neo was like, that's a human emotion. And the program said, no, that's a word. He said what matters is the connection the word implies. And I was like, man, that is deep. I had to meditate on that a little bit. But what he's saying is words mean different things to different people. It's the same word, but you can take it differently. Example, me and my daughters, we all have the same sense of humor. We do stupid stuff, send little gifts or, videos and whatever. So one of them may say something that was funny and the other one say, you stupid. We're going to all laugh about it. Now, if this conversation was going on with someone else, say someone that didn't graduate from high school and they kind of been told that they were less than growing up, and we had the same conversation and we said that to them, they would take their word differently. So it's like we need to be mindful of our word choice and kind of find out what does that word mean to them. Another example would be like my daughters when they were little. And I would ask them, did you clean your room? They would say yes. And I would say, is it my clean or your clean? Because there's a difference. And so you do have to find out what does that word mean to them. Today, the word friend and relationship is used loosely. So you may be thinking in a relationship with someone. You need to get clarification to find out, okay, so what does that word mean to you? And once you find out what it means to them, then you'll know how to move forward, because what a word means to one person may not mean the same to another. And another thing that I would like to focus on as well is the words that we speak. We need to be mindful of what we say because we speak things into existence. I was having a conversation with someone who said, oh, I've done it all. I've seen it all. It's nothing anybody can tell me. They was happy with where they were. They didn't want to grow. Now, see, the thing that they're not understanding is healthy things grow and growing things change. So if you've been the same way for 10 years, you wasted 10 years because you're supposed to be growing. And another thing is once you become ripe, you began to die on the vine. So if you think about a fruit or anything that's growing, once it becomes ripe, it falls off and it dies. So if you are saying, I've done it all, I've seen it all, there's nothing else for me to learn, you're actually telling the universe, you're telling God, you're telling whatever you believe in, you're ready to die because there's nothing else for you to do. Again, purpose. Remember the program? If it doesn't have a purpose, it's deleted. So we really need to be careful on our word choice because we speak things in existence. And if you feel like you can't grow, if you feel like you've done it all, you really have no purpose to exist anymore. So just remember that. And also when we're speaking, again, this video is long and I do apologize. We have a tendency to say, I've always been this way. You need to just deal with me the way I am. A lot of people use a lot of profanity. It's popular and all of that. And women my age go through menopause. It's a real thing, people. It's a real thing. I don't use profanity at all. But there are times when I would probably make Eddie Murphy blush. The stuff that's going on in here, it's a real thing. So what I would say, ladies, when you're having your moment and you're feeling like that, because we know when it's coming out, just tell them, you know what, not today. You don't want to mess with me today. This is not your day. So kind of reel it in and be careful about what we say. And I would just leave you with this. Whatever we say or do to someone else, we're saying and doing it to ourselves because we reap what we sow. When we smile, chances are somebody's going to smile back. If we have an attitude, chances are they're going to have an attitude as well. So when we are interacting with people, they're going to give you what you're getting. I mean, what you're giving is back and forth. It's a mirror. People are your mirror. So if you want them to be nice and kind, be nice and kind to them. Even if they do have an attitude a little bit, don't be the one to put the negative energy out there. Don't have the low vibrations. So one of the things that the Bible talks about when he talks about the woman winning her husband over, he's not talking about temporarily be nice and whatever, because people are going to treat you like you treat them. They really will. I've not yet been in a relationship with a guy that cussed me out or anything like that, because that's not how I treat them. And that the respect that I give them is the respect that I get in return. Not simply in a relationship, but just in general. And don't do it temporarily. I'm going to be nice because I want them to be nice to me. Because the thing about it is, whatever you're seeking is seeking you. So, and what I mean by that is what's on the inside. You can pretend to be something on the outside, but that's not what you're going to attract. You're going to attract who you actually are. So if you pretending to be nice because you want to get something nice, you're going to attract somebody that's pretending to be nice to get something out of you. So remember these things. When you're getting ready to speak, ask yourself, is it nice? Is it kind? Is it true? Does it profit or is it going to harm? Is it necessary? And if it's not any of those positive things, don't say anything. Just let it go. Because remember, whatever you do and say to someone, you are doing and saying that to yourself. And I do apologize for this video being so long.